Hello and good afternoon. Oh, there we go. It's working. Hello, good afternoon and welcome. Today is a very, very special day. I'm so happy to see everyone coming through today to come and join us for a day where we look back at the history of our country. My name is Nia Brown and I will be your program director for today. So I will walk you through all the very special events and the very special moments that we will be sharing in today. Once again, thank you so much to all of you. A beautiful day, a historic day for us all here in South Africa. Now, before we get to the proceedings, there are some people that I do need to welcome and to thank once again for being here. A very warm welcome to the City of Johannesburg, MMC, Loyiso Masuku. Thank you so much for being here today. From Each One Teach One, thank you for being here today, Miss Mazamo Martins, from the June 16 Foundation. A very warm welcome to Mr. Dan Munzizi. And from the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, a very warm welcome to Lucanyo Nier. Thank you so much to you all for being here today. I also would like to give a very warm welcome to the MMC, Tapelo Ahmad. A very big thank you for being here to the MEC, rather, of the SACR, Ms. Mbali Hlope. And of course, a very warm welcome to Councillor Margaret Arnolds as well, the MMC Community Development. Thank you so much for joining us on this very special day and very historic day today. Also a very big welcome to the Chief Whip of the City of Johannesburg Council, Mr. Soli Mukhase, as well as the Chief Whip of Gauteng Legislature, Mzi Kumalo. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today. Now today, I'm so happy to be here in Soweto because this is the moment, this is the place where life changed for a lot of South Africans. Today we are here to celebrate the youth of 1976 who spearheaded the change in South Africa. 20,000 students stood up and said enough is enough. They stood up and they fought for the freedoms that we can now enjoy in South Africa today. Today we look back at that day, we look back at those moments, we celebrate them, and we thank them. So here to get on a beautiful note and on a very high note, please help me welcome to the stage the Soweto Opera Quadro.
1, 2. our national anthem.
What an absolutely beautiful performance from the Soweto Opera Quadro. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Those are some beautiful voices, and I think it also makes you realize how much talent we have in this country. It's so amazing that we get to showcase some of that talent here today, and also to recognize and to realize the importance that music has on the history of our country. Now, as we continue with the proceedings, it is also very important for us to pray before we continue with everything. So if you can welcome me in a moment of prayer before we continue with the program. Thank you.
Ngiyanibingelela nonke egameni likaJesu. Haleluya. Ngicela sonke sivale namehlo. Baba wethu oyingcwele, nongiyise wenkosi yethu Jesu. Sihlanganyele ntambama ekseni namhlanje moya engcwele ukuzophakamisa wena. Moya engcwele ngaphandle komuntu omusha izwe alikho. Babona amandla kunabantwana abasukuma nkosi yami bama moya engcwele endleleni bemela izwe lakithi namhlanje kunjena ukhululekiwe ngenxa yezwi lakho. Babona amandla South Africa yakudinga ingekwazi ukuqhubeka ngaphandle kwakho. Baba wethu oyingcwele nababadala bethu upresident moya engcwele nezwe lonke liyakudinga. Babona amandla iwisdom yakhe ifake inkosi engqondweni yabo ukulida leli lizwe moya namandla sidinga wena liphefumulele izwi lakho liyaphila linamandla okudala okungekho kube khona. Izwe lethu moya engcwele yonke imimoya ehlasele sithumela izwi lakho ukuthi makubonakala ubukhulu bakho, makubonakala inkazimulo yakho, uyenza umsebenzi kubantwana bakho. Baba wethu oyingcwele nezimo ehlasela ama drugs babona amandla nazo zonke izinto egameni lika Jesu yala zonke asinamandla phezukwe youth yethu. Moya engcwele ngaphandle komuntu omusha Baba wethu ngeke sibe no president wakusasa. Moya engcwele vula ingqondo zabo baba wehlisa amandla phezu kwabantwana bakho nesifo esihlasela iSouth Africa moya ingcwele ngegama lika Jesu Kristu izwe liyakudinga lingephile wena ungekho moya ingcwele ngenelela ibhedlela bantwana bakho basize moya namandla balulame lesifo sinqobe ngezwi lakhe linamandla thulisa lokhu hlobo lomoya egameni lika Jesu Kristu manje kuze kube phakathi amen.
Thank you so much to Pastor Kumalo for that beautiful, beautiful prayer. We've started this day off on a beautiful note already. This is the way that we celebrate the youth of 1976. And as we look back on the moments that transpired that day, it is important for us to recognize just how hard the youth of 1976 fought for the freedoms that we can enjoy in South Africa today. They fought bravely, they fought persistently. They did not give up because they understood what the end goal is, and they were ready for change. Let's have a look.
June 16, 1976, presented a new form of resistance towards the Afrikaans language policy introduced under the Bantu education in 1953 under the then apartheid government.
Zindlava izagile
June 16, 1976, presented a new form of resistance towards the Afrikaans language policy introduced under the Bantu education in 1953 under the then apartheid government.
Zindlava izagile zimvu konke lokho kuphelele phezukwethu kwashiya simanqebanqeba simgodikodi kwashiya kukhala kunesililo sikaNandi ngenxa yakho ukuthi ukhuleke namuhla
ukuchitheka kwegazi kwaletha inkululeko yenu.
Do you know how it feels like to take a racist bullet?
On that fateful day of June the 16th, what was supposed to be a peaceful protest by June 16, 1976, presented a new form of resistance towards the Afrikaans language policy introduced under the Bantu education in 1953 under the then apartheid government.
Zindlava izagile zimvu konke lokho kuphelele phezukwethu kwashiya simanqebanqeba simgodikodi kwashiya kukhala kunesililo sikaNandi ngenxa yakho ukuthi ukhuleke namuhla
Ukuchitheka kwegazi kwaletha inkululeko yenu.
Do you know how it feels like to take a racist bullet?
On that fateful day of June the 16th, what was supposed to be a peaceful protest by black students against the Afrikaans language policy turned ugly.
We stood together so that you have the strength to stand alone.
I didn't go to jail so that black children can live in poverty.
Is the unknown grave, the one who died maintaining his night.
Charlotte Makhomu Manye Matleke. She was a woman, a mother. We believe that, women have got a very big role to play by influencing the people around us. They don't have to be your sister or anything else. As long as if it's a woman, we all want to come together and then discuss our issues, which bring us together. So Charlotte was such a person. She took note of the kind of life that she lived in South Africa.
He's really been so strong and musically inclined. His sad melodies coming out like a smoke from the woody fire.
To the beloved heroines and heroes, the beautiful ones that braved the eye of the storm and took the front line when the future of our people was in peril. Those who answered the call and paid the price to ensure a better tomorrow for generations beyond their time.
The MEC for Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation in the Gauteng Province. This year's June month, we face it and we're going to experience it during the difficult time of this COVID pandemic. But we will be having a number of exciting activities. We'll deal with issues of jobs. We know that is a big matter with the stats that have now come out with regards to unemployment in the country, and specifically with youth unemployment. It's a big issue that the province will be taking care of. So jobs are certainly priority, skills development, and various other social interventions that are there throughout the province's various departments.
My name is Max Tau, MEC for Economic Development, Agriculture, Environment and Rural Development in the province of Gauteng. Looking at an array of programs in the province of Gauteng to ensure that young people are able to gain access to opportunity. The first is critical catalytic project, or the critical youth focus project that's run from the Premier's office that we're partnering on as a department very closely, is the TEP 1 million program. And this program is intended to ensure access to opportunity. And these opportunities could range from overcoming the skills deficit, so access to skills, ensuring experiential learning so that when you need experience in a particular environment, at least you've gained some degree of experience. It's about training and development with the strategic partners that have come on board to ensure access to training opportunities. So that includes the programs that we're running with the Premier's office. Of course, it includes access to jobs and a partnership that we have with the private sector and Arambe in terms of ensuring access to job opportunities.
And now manifest.
Reaching for the top of our Africa days, while the poor women waiting for the lazy boat. Say, Africa, say, Africa, say.
And to you we say, Ria Lebuha, Nakensa, Siabonga, Bayadangi, thank you.
What an incredible and powerful message indeed. And I think what also resonates with a lot of us is that there are some views, there are some feelings that the youth of today can relate with the youth of 1976. And that was an absolute testament of that. All right, so please help me welcome to the stage someone who is here to give you a formal welcome. I'm the informal welcome, but here to give you a formal welcome to our proceedings today. Please help me welcome to the stage the City of Joburg MMC, Loyiso Masuku.
Thank you very much, Program Director. I'd like to acknowledge the Each One Teach One Foundation, Mzamo Martins. I'd like to acknowledge the June 16 Foundation, Mr. Dan Monsinsi, as well as the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, Lucanyo Nier. And most importantly, I would like to acknowledge our MEC, Mbali Hlope, who is our gracious leader in terms of this program today in our Gauteng Province, the Chief Whip of the Legislature, Mzi Khumalo, and MMC Arnold, my colleagues, MMC Ahmad in the Mayoral Committee, but most importantly, Chief Whip and the families and our guests who are here. I think for us, it's an honor and a privilege to be able to be here, and most of all, with all of you esteemed guests, under the conditions of COVID. And I want to start off with a quote that comes from the late United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan when he said, young people should be at the forefront of global change, innovation, empowerment. They can be agents for development and peace. If, however, they are left on society's margins, all of us will be impoverished. Let us ensure that all young people have every opportunity to participate fully in the lives of their societies. And I think the Gauteng Provincial Government and the City of Johannesburg are well on their way in achieving that. In this welcome, I think this is not only about just welcoming you, but it is also about remembering where we come from and acknowledging where we are going. And also as a wake-up call for us as government to endeavor to do more, to endeavor to create opportunities for young people, to endeavor to make their lives better, to get them out of the streets from drug abuse and ensure that they have safer communities. And before I sit down, I would like to quote the words of Oliver Tambo, who said, "The children of any nation are its future. A country, a movement, a person that does not value its youth and children does not deserve its future." So together with government, but to young people, regardless of your race, background, political affiliation, and sexual orientation, must be given equal opportunities for employment, skills development, and we need young people to take active part in citizenry and be conscious of their responsibility to lead the nation to prosperity, their civic duty, the importance of participating in elections, and the importance of knowing why it is important to vote. With that, I would like to welcome you all and thank you for being here. And this is on behalf of the City of Johannesburg, led by the Executive Mayor, Jeffrey Makubo. Thank you.
A very big thank you for those amazing welcome remarks by the City of Joburg MMC, Loyiso Masuku. Thank you so much for those beautiful words. All right, so one thing I think we can all agree on is that South Africans love music. We are a people who enjoy all genres of music. We've seen lately that Amapiano is doing the rounds. The kids are loving it. I'm enjoying it. I hope you are as well. But music has been such a big part of our history as a country. Music is something that we have used to spark social change. Music is something that we have used to educate. Music is at the base of our revolution. Back then and today, music is part of the way in which we protest. Music in South Africa has always been a reflection of the times. Now, there are very few artists who can capture all of that in a voice, in a song, in a talent. And our next guest is one such artist. Please help me welcome to the stage and give a round of applause for the very talented Jessica Mbangeni.
Ewe kaloku kuyavakala. Ewe kaloku kuyavakala. Ewe kaloku kuyavakala. Kuyavakala ukugungqa kwamathambo amagorha kaJune 16, 1976. Ewe kaloku kuyavakala. Kuyavakala ukugungqa kwamagorha kaJune 16, 1976. Ndithatha ngoHector Peterson. Siyetse emashinini. Oh! Kuyavakala ukugungqa kwamathambo. Kuyavakala isandi sikambuyisa Makhubo. Uthi buyani Mathongo. Buyani ezintabeni. Buyani ezingetheni. And unite and form the Ark of Covenant. Kuyavakala madoda ukugungqa kwamathambo esizwe sakowethu. Thina nto zaziyo sothuka nganto. Ngoba lilixa elililixa lobumbano lwama-Afrika. 45 years of the uprising of June 16, 1972. Soweto, the hub of Africa, the hub of the world. Soweto, it's time for you to unite. It's time for me and you to unite. Our unity will ensure peace and tranquility to silence the guns in Africa and abroad. Now is the time, and the time is now. Elililixa lokuba sihlangane, sihlahla umhlahlandlela, siqonxe ikamveli iqaqambileyo loMzantsi Afrika, neAfrika nezwekazi lonke ngokubanzi. Now is the time for us to enable the Continental Free Trade Agreement, for us to monitor the value chain of our commodities and extract the beneficiation and safeguard the illicit outflows. Elililixa, now is the time for us to decolonize the education. Now is the time, and the time is now. Now is the time for us to craft the models that will enable the human rights of women and children. Elililixa lokuba sihlahla umhlahlandlela, siwuhlahlahlahle siwuhla amahlongwane phezulu, siqonxe ikamva eliqaqambileyo leAfrika. Sithi huntshu makhawa sekhaya, bambi benu bakhona. Uthi uNelson Mandela ngenye imini, you may be scarred by the events of the past, but inside us, a potential. Uthi Nelson Mandela ququmbelathi, you may see yourselves as little seeds, but inside you lies a forest, a potential forest. Now is the time for us to rise. Let's draw the strength and build the Africa that we want to see. Remember, we are the ones we've been waiting for. uthi usisi ujama kasijadu ngenye imini ingqungqulu yakwambheki inhlame negwele yokhakha ilongovya kwamadiba umalala ejongile emhleca amagusha kwimilondo ekhaya elancancathini naxhakaxhaka elachoma amaxhoba lamaxhoba ngentshutsheni nangoncuma emfazweni atsho adilisa ishumi lamadoda ngaxeshanye. Thabo Mbeki once said, I am an African. I owe my being to the hills and the valleys, the mountains and the clays, the rivers, the seas, the trees, the deserts, the flowers, and the ever-changing seasons that define the face of our native land. My body has frozen in our frost and in our latter day snow. It has thawed in the warmth of the sunshine and melted in the heat of the midday sun. Remember, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Remember, we're the ones who have made it possible for the world markets to trade in gold, in diamonds, and the food our stomachs still in. The socio-economic transformation, the real economy will start right here in Soweto. The uprisings of all the townships of the world started right here in Soweto. Oh! Thina nto zasiyasothuka nganto kuba kaloku madoda lento into yalonto athi amaxhosa ke isikhova sidla ngesolaso esimehlwe nkungu ke sifa indlala sithi halala halala. Class of June 16 1976 halala halala. Class of June 16 1976 halala. Ngowawuphi mntanam, ngowawufile. See, you are the gold, you are the regional gold, you are the continental gold, you are the African gold, you are the global gold. As the ancient times of Egypt, where the oldest gold artifact dating 1352 BC, to the ancient golden rhine of Mapungubwe, found in the royal graves of our African kings and queens, to all the astronauts that explore global planet with courage and resilience. Take courage and keep on keeping on. We should not be despondent when the weather is bad. Not become triumphalists because the sun shines. For our strength as people is not tested during the best of times. Trying times need courage and resilience. Take courage, Makabane, take courage. Utu Mahatma Gandhi, our strength does not come from physical capacity, but it comes from indomitable will. Atu Jehova umdali wezulu nomhlaba kuJoshua chapter 1 verse 5 akuyiko mamntu phambi kwakho kuyo yonke imihle kudla kwakho ubomi kodwa yomelela ukhaliphe. Be strong and courageous. See, mandiniyeke abafazi bale ndawo bonithakatha degam dencinceleli. Long live the class of June 16 1976. Long live. Long live the spirit of Tsiatse Mashinini. Long live. Long live the spirit of Mbuyisa Makuba. Long live. Long live the spirit of all the great warriors of our world. Long live. Long live the spirit of Hector Peterson. Long live. Long live to you. Decham.
What an incredibly beautiful performance. Oh my goodness. Yes, let's do another round of applause. I'm overwhelmed by how beautiful that was. I'm sure you are as well. Wow. We are a beautiful people. Thank you so much, Jessica, for reflecting that. Thank you for showing us that on this important day. Okay, it is now time for us to move on to message. We will be hearing from Each One Teach One from Miss Mazamo Martins. We will also be hearing from the June 16 Foundation, Mr. Dan Montsiti. And we will also be hearing from the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, Lucanyo Nier. I think it is important for us to hear from foundations such as these, from initiatives such as these, because it reminds us that even today, even in 2021, there are some initiatives and there are some foundations out there that still strive to fight for the young people of this country. And those foundations, the ones that I've mentioned, are ones that are doing exactly that. So please give them all a round of applause. From Each One Teach One, Ms. Mazamo Martins. From the June 16 Foundation, Mr. Dan Montiti. And from Tamubeki Foundation, we have